So I think one of the things that a lot of people ask me about is, when is the right time to start? When is the right time to quit their job and actually kickstart this journey? And look, to be honest, I think it never really is the perfect time. But I do have some suggestions for people who are starting to think about doing this. One of those is, first of all, is that starting a new business and actually building up your product offering and getting in customers, it takes a lot longer than you think. So even if you think it's going to take 3 months, it'll take 6. If you think it will take 6 months, it will probably take 12 months. So what I always suggest is a couple of key areas. First of all, make sure that you've got enough savings in the bank to cover your expenses for about 6 months. So that's your personal living expenses and whatever business expenses you have as well. I think that's absolutely really critical. So if you're thinking about starting a business, you haven't started one yet, I would absolutely suggest just keep in mind that you need to have that grounding, those foundations behind you, so that you can feel comfortable and give yourself enough time to actually then get started. Because related to this is also that depending on the type of business that you have, your customers, they will always pay you a little bit later than you think they will. So you need to be prepared for that too. One thing I would absolutely suggest is if you are starting some type of service or consulting business, then make sure you've got a few different projects lined up before you actually start. So I was really fortunate when I started mine that I had a great relationship with the company that I was leaving, and I was able to extend my notice period, which suited both of us. And in that time, actually, then I was able to, in my spare time, on my weekends, actually just find some of my own potential new clients. And I was lucky because I also got to work with some previous clients from the company that I was working with as well. So it meant that I had a really smooth start. I faced some challenges later, and I will definitely cover that in some later videos. But so I would definitely suggest try and have something worked out beforehand. If you're starting a business like a tech startup, then that of course is going to be a very different scenario. And what I would definitely suggest there is, as you're starting to figure out what it is that you're going to do, at least try and have a working prototype, if possible, before you actually quit your day job. If that's not going to be possible because there is just too much time and effort that's required to put into that, and you actually need to really, really focus on that, then definitely at a minimum, have a really clear understanding of what your product offering is going to be, and start talking to different potential customers so that you can really understand whether the value proposition that you are coming up with, and we'll cover this again in some later videos as well, as how to define your value proposition and understand your audience. But I would suggest really starting to think about this beforehand. Make sure that you at least have some things organized before you finally do quit your job and start working on your business full time. It's really, really important to have that run rate going so that you can give your business the best start that you possibly can.